What's going on, everybody? Oh, shit. There we go. What's going on, everybody? It is me, your boy Gilbert, and I am joined today by the greatest team of mutants ever made. Brad and Peaky. Okay, we're done with that before we get in trouble. What's going on, guys? We are here. It is us. We're the Fulcrum Boys. We're going to be talking today about the 90s X-Men because we are 4 days out. I think it's the 20th is when it comes out from X-Men 97. And that, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the trailer. Well, yeah, I think we have. We did watch the trailer. We did see the trailer a while back. But I don't know if you guys have seen that clip that got played or that got shown on YouTube of them, of like actually a clip from the show of them fighting Sentinels and stuff and playing that song that we all just heard. It is, oh man, it looks so good. I'm looking forward to it. I don't get all the people who are naysaying. but what's so real quick, we're gonna say what's up to Harrison. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, my man, I'm doing very well. Any excuse to just sit and watch some 90s X-Men is pretty good for me.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. And I actually did start binge. I don't know about you, but I did start binging it this morning. I got through like 6 episodes, and it's surprisingly easy just to binge.
Yeah, it goes by real fast. Like they chug through that show.
Absolutely. And then Peaky, we got you in here as well. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and tell us about what you've been up to, or tell us your initial thoughts about this show or whatever.
I'm very excited for 97, and just I kind of doing the retrospective of the original series is just because that was my childhood. I grew up watching this cartoon. I grew up watching Spider-Man. I grew up watching all the Marvel cartoons, basically. So doing a retrospective of this is just like, okay, brilliant, because this is where I fell in love with the character Wolverine. Right.
I think this is where a lot of us ended up like growing a love of Wolverine and like you mentioned it before, Harrison, how they made that joke on the live action one about what would you prefer, yellow spandex? Yes. Like watching this show, yes. That's why Deadpool 3 is going to be awesome.
Yeah. And I think also we got I know this came out way before the Bryan Singer movies, but it introduced everyone to mutants that mutants we'd only really seen in the background of comics or a brief mention in comics. So it introduced a lot more mutants to the forte of X-Men. For instance, Jubilee. First episode, Jubilee.
I think it's like a few episodes after that, they show the Morlocks.
Yeah.
They have like the Sabretooth Wolverine feud, like right away. Like third episode, they have Wolverine against.
Didn't they? Yeah, I was thinking about this when I was at work this morning. I was thinking of things about the show from what I can remember. Didn't they also get transported to a planet that was like a game show?
Yeah, I'm just about to watch that in Mojo Vision.
That's it, Mojo Vision.
Yeah, they go in there in Mojo's sort of battle royale style show. Yeah, and they meet. I can't remember the name of the chick with 6 arms, but you get. Oh man, what's his name? Something Star. Like Lone Star, the one who's lucky and he's got 3 fingers.
Hang on, Lone Star.
X-Men. Yeah, I know the one you're on about.
Yeah. And, all right, so there, William Lone Star. Let's go ahead and keep talking. I'll see.
He like not my favorite characters. So 80s. That hair alone, that guy looks like he's like really pissed off Van Halen, so he cut his fingers off so he couldn't play guitar as good as him. But it's pretty cool. You're right, Picky. It goes through the gambit of X-Men, and similar to what we were talking about when we did Spider-Man. The Spider-Man show gives you a good crash course in just Spider-Man lore. You're gonna see his rogues gallery. You're gonna see quick condensed versions of some of his greatest stories, and the X-Men does its best to do the same thing, where you're running in, you're gonna see everybody.
They done the Phoenix Force, didn't they? They done the whole Phoenix arc and everything.
Yeah, the Phoenix Saga. And while they're doing that, they bring in all the aliens that you meet, the Brood. I can't remember the name of the race of people that kind of kick off the whole Phoenix Force thing. with those aliens. They're kind of dicks. You get into the Crimson Corsairs,
Yeah.
and you meet Scott Summers' dad and like what he's been up to. Like they show you everything in the course of this series,
Also,
and it's pretty sweet.
It gave us one of the coolest mutants to ever join the X-Men team, Bishop.
Oh yeah, it did have. Well, I don't know if he was the coolest one to ever join the X-Men team. Like that's by far that's going to be.
I think his power is just really cool. How he can absorb all different types of energy and then just redirect it back. Like it's such a cool power. Like,
I mean, I'm not so keen, partly because like I think he's not the only mutant that does that. What's his name? He's the head of the Hellfire Club.
yes,
and he's the one played by Kevin Bacon in X-Men First Class. He does the same thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Shaw does the same thing. So you know, like it's okay, and he doesn't use it that often. He much prefers a gun a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Bishop's all right.
Hasn't Bishop like had that? Like, can't Bishop like end up redirecting the energy back through his gun? Because I think he like that's how he uses his gun a lot of the time. Is like, I think you see in that clip they showed of the new show is he gets hit by a sentinel blast and then he just turns around and shoots it.
Yeah. He does, which I'm like, at that point, why are you shooting him? Why are the Sentinels shooting him with light energy? Shoot him with bullets.
Yeah. Like, you've done fucked up with that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got the same thing that Shaw could do, where like kinetic energy counts. There's a lot of kinetic stuff in X-Men. That's one of the things that's a bit strange about.
There's a lot of kinetic, and there's also a lot of psychic stuff happening in X-Men. Like, there's so many mutants with psychic abilities in X-Men.
Yeah, even ones you don't know, like Cable. Cable has psychic abilities.
Yeah,
but they never bring it up, which is like one of my preferred.
No, he doesn't really use his psychic abilities that much.
Nah, well, yeah, because I know, because the reason he's got a metal arm is because Cable has a disease that's turning his body into metal, and he has to use his psychic abilities to prevent it from spreading. So that's why he comes loaded, and he uses that instead.
That is such a zany fucking thing to have as a backstory.
Like,
I mean, that's what happens when your mother is a clone of Jean Grey, I suppose.
Yeah, that's one of the things about like this show. It's fantastic. It doesn't go into quite. Oh, John Bubba has put into the comments. It was Shi'ar. It was the Shi'ar with the aliens I was thinking of.
Yeah, they're the ones who were in X-Men Dark Phoenix, weren't they? The crappy.
Yeah.
Action film.
They've got that weird planet where people look like gladiators. They've got like crazy hair that looks like horseshoes. They get up to all sorts of stuff, and they kind of kick off the whole Phoenix Force thing, and they're like, "Hey, she blew up a planet. We can't have that." Or she had a son that blew up a load of planets. Can't be doing that.
Didn't they do a lot of crossovers as well in the X-Men show with like Spider-Man and stuff like that?
I mean, all right, so they did crossovers in the Spider-Man show. Like they had the X-Men show up in that show, and then they had like the theme play and whatever, and the same voice actors. I don't know if Spider-Man ever showed up in the X-Men show itself. I don't know if anyone else ever showed up in the X-Men. I think they were kind of very much a standalone thing.
Yeah, I don't think they had people coming to the show. I think you're right on that, Gilbert.
Yeah, like they had like
I just thought they might have done that if they did it with the others.
See, my thinking is because like you guys were saying, like they added, the Morlocks, they put in the Days of Future Past arc, they put in the Phoenix, the Shi'ar, they had like Sabretooth and Wolverine and the Weapon X and all that. Like they put so many arcs in there that it's like I don't think they wanted to sully it or muddy it up with like, all right, well, let's also put in the Fantastic Four and let's put Ghost Rider over here, and Blade for a minute. I don't think they wanted to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So from what I can remember, obviously, like in the trailer for '97, at the end of the original run, we had Professor X dying, and basically
and that's still going, and that's still going after that.
Kicking the bucket. I like how they're continuing from this storyline. Like they're continuing everything from the original to now, but keeping it in the same format. A lot of the same voice actors are back, although some of them are back, but they're playing different roles from what I've seen. Like, which fair enough. You brought them back. Like, yeah, great. I didn't realize on like some of the voice actors how much they actually sound like their character. Like the woman who plays Storm, like, and the guy who does Beast's voice. They sound just the guy. Obviously, like, a lot of voice actors will put on the accent and put on the way they speak for that role. Those two, I saw a video. It's like you're sat there watching Storm and Hank talk. It's like, what? Like,
So it's going to be Jennifer Hale as Jean Grey, George
Yeah.
Buzza, I'm guessing. Let's see. The only I think it's Ray Chase is the same guy who played Cyclops originally, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, cool.
I might be wrong on that one, but yeah, but so that's what I'm looking at here is that they've it looks like they changed the guy who plays Magneto. I think that guy
Yeah.
died, so it's Matthew Watterson now. Yeah. Speaking of that, like I wanted to talk about that in that show, so it's a great show, but Magneto's powers, I don't think they really understood what magnetism is in the 90s because there's like a part where he goes to break Beast out of jail and he puts like a force field around them of magnetism and they're shooting lasers at him. I'm like, that is not how any of this works.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, it's not just the show that's done that. Like a bunch of other X-Men things have done that. He can make
comics have done that a lot.
Yeah, like a magnetic field that nothing can get past. I'm like,
I don't think that's
how a magnetic field works. But but then we can't really pick at something saying it's a magnetic field and nothing getting past it because it's a comic book. It's a comic book and it's a comic book show. We can't really nitpick at the scientific.
Hell I can't. Watch me.
I think
yes, because you're American and you had to complain about everything and not do anything about it.
Have you met the English, Peaky?
I mean,
that's what we do. What are you talking about?
At the moment, we are no different.
I learned about watching you.
Yeah, like the revolution was kicking off in America, and the English are just like, oh. These Americans, they're like, oh, they're not grateful that we've got a king, and he's like, letting them sit on like his bit of America. Oh, we should do something about that. Oh, do you want to go fight them? No, I'm staying here.
What do you think of? I don't know if you guys have of like the 97 trailer where you see there's two shots of Jean. Obviously, like we've seen the shot where she's pregnant in like a referee shirt. And she's got her signature ponytail. But there's also another shot of her without the ponytail and her hair flowing freely. Do you think we're going to see the Jean Grey clones?
Possibly. I mean,
specifically Madeline Pryor, who is the mother of Cable.
Is Madeline Pryor the Goblin Queen? Or was she a different Jean Grey clone?
I think she's a different Jean Grey. There's been so many clones of Jean Grey, it's hard to remember.
Mate, like, that was one of the things when you mentioned it earlier, like, the clones of Jean Grey, the number of children Jean Grey has had in various
the clones
different
of Jean Grey have had, and it's just like...
Yeah, because we've got Cable, we've got X-Man, we've got Phoenix 2. There's another one as well that's a child of who is it? I've forgotten it. There's too many of them. I love X-Men. I really love X-Men.
See,
it is both my favorite Marvel thing, and it's also possibly the dumbest.
Yeah, so in this shot, pregnant Jean Grey, and she's got her signature ponytail there.
So I don't know. So I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know that I did not realize there was that many Jean Grey clones.
Oh, there's about I'm gonna say about 5 or 6, if not more.
And
it's ridiculous.
Real quick, Harrison. All right, so I had something I wanted to say. Repeat real quick what you just said a minute ago.
That it's my favorite Marvel thing, but it's also the dumbest.
There we go. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that one. It is like the coolest, most craziest, most dumbest thing that Marvel has ever come up with, and that's why it's awesome. It's.
What do you think of the redesign of Morph?
The redesign. Okay, so I watched that. Like I said, I watched the show the other day, or actually this morning, and I'm sitting there watching it, and Morph actually had hair, like facial features
Yeah.
and shit like that. I think this actually makes more sense that right there. Like the dude being here, let me make it full screen. Like, but him being right there looking like kind of like a gray man or something like that. I don't know. Like
it
I
makes
think that
more
kind of
him.
works.
It makes more sense of him being like that because of obviously like his powers are a lot more. I was gonna say,
Or their powers or whatever.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say his. Fuck it.
His, hers, theirs,
His
whatever.
power is like it's more prolific than what Mystique's is, because if I'm right, can't he somewhat copy their powers as well if they does it to a mutant?
I think so. Yeah, like
Whereas
whereas Mystique can only like
Mys-
do a cheap copy.
yeah, well, Mystique can you do Wolverine's claws, but not
But like
like
that's not. But she doesn't actually like make his claws. Like that's actually like a part of her.
yeah. So like
Morph has a similar issue. In an episode I was watching today, Morph transformed into Wolverine to fight Wolverine, and he just cut straight through Morph's claws. So
yeah.
I don't, from what I've seen like so far, his powers seem to work essentially the same as Mystique's.
Okay.
And I kind of like that they've decided to redesign him a bit, because when he's just a regular dude, it makes it kind of worse, because Morph already has the issue of he's not an existing character. He's made up for the show.
Yeah.
And where the Batman the Animated Series did that and produced Harley Quinn, one of the most popular characters that DC has ever created, Morph did not reach those heights. He's not the same caliber.
I mean, Morph's pretty memorable for me.
Not to me,
I don't know, man.
unfortunately.
Like, if Morph is your favorite like X-Men character, then I assume your favorite food is dry Rice Krispies. Like, it's so bland.
I'm not saying he's my favorite, but I just like if someone was to say, "Oh, can you name like some of the X-Men from the cartoon?" Morph would be in that list.
I mean, I think that Morph may be in that list, but you're definitely gonna be like at the top of the list is gonna be like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Gambit. Like you're gonna name off the ones that you wrote that you loved way more. Like Morph is gonna maybe be your like 10th person that you can remember.
Yeah, possibly.
He's also got that thing where he's in the very first few episodes of the show a lot, and then he disappears.
Doesn't he get killed?
They believe he gets killed, but he
That's
then
it,
does
yeah.
come back later on.
Isn't it when like the like going to like that mutant camp, like in the first couple of episodes to rescue some of the team, and then like they believe because like Wolverine is with Morph at the time, and like it kind of hits Wolverine a little bit that Morph is supposedly dead.
Yeah. Wolverine gets real butthurt about that.
Yeah. Did they? I can't remember. Did they do the storyline of Mystique being Nightcrawler's mum?
I believe they did.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I don't know if it was until late. I distinctly remember that it was in X-Men Evolution that they did that,
I know it was heavily featured in X-Men Evolution.
Well, yeah, but also the fact that, or the idea that Rogue was her daughter as well, like they were brother and sister. I think that was done in there. I'm not sure if that was also in the 90s. I can't remember if Nightcrawler and Rogue were supposed to be brother and sister at that point.
Also, I love the Rogue from the 90s X-Men more than what I love of Rogue. Rogue from X-Men Evolution was pretty good as well, but this Rogue that we have in this, like her being able to fly and everything else like that, and having there's a whole range of different powers other than stealing people's life force.
Yeah, like she had like the Captain Marvel powers for some reason. I think they explained that in the 90s one as well. Is that like
I think they do touch on it. Like
for...
she touched Captain Marvel and was able, like she ended up like somehow she copied her powers, but and they stuck with her. Whereas when she joins another mutant, she doesn't keep their powers completely.
I watched this episode today. So what happened was when Mystique sort of became a mother figure to Rogue. So Rogue like gets booted out of her real home by her dad because he's a mutant racist. Mystique takes her under her wing, is lying to her, doesn't admit who she is, and she gets her to go and steal a jet. And during that, Mystique forces Rogue to hang on to Carol Danvers for way longer than she has anybody else. And like that's why she doesn't just take, because she holds her so long, she doesn't just take like her powers for a little bit. She also like takes Carol Danvers' mind. And in later on the episode, they show that Carol Danvers is in a coma. And like she's been in there since Rogue did that to her.
Okay, yeah, like yeah, that's right. I do remember that, and so that also is like one of the few crossovers that show actually has. We were talking about it a little while ago, and so there's one. I want to say there might be a Captain America one in there too with Wolverine.
Yeah, because isn't the whole thing with like Wolverine and Cap like they served together in World War II?
Yeah,
they
were like
definitely
best
do
friends.
that they do it in X-Men Evolution. I'm not sure that they do it in the 90s cartoon.
Okay, it might have been the Evolution one, but I'm remembering then. But yeah, but so then Carol Danvers is like the one confirmed one that there is at least one crossover in the X-Men or TV show. And I think that a little while ago, I think it was John Bubba might have said that. Let me see. Yeah, apparently Spider-Man had a really short cameo in the X-Men series. I guess either he was under a bridge and used his webbing to catch a ton of rubble, or was catching falling people.
Okay.
So yeah, but either way, the point is, I found that interesting. That I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh shit, there was a cameo or there was a crossover. But so let me see. What were you guys' favorite arcs, or who were your favorite characters? Like, do you think like as far as like, all right, actually, I'll start with this. Who is your favorite X-Man, and then who is your favorite just like villain or favorite other character? Harrison, you go first.
So I really liked Gambit, and I still have a soft spot for Gambit. Like, you know, he's obviously supposed to be cool, and he's very 90s cool, but I still like it. I still like his cool accent. I like that he's from a swamp. I like the fact that he throws playing cards, but he can do it with sort of other things. He can transform his kinetic energy into other stuff to make it blow up. It's kind of cool that he can turn anything into a grenade.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy this shot right here too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued about this spot because, like you said, when he transfers like kinetic energy to items, and like they usually explode. So how is this scene gonna play out? Are they gonna explode when Wolverine hits something, or
yes,
that's what I think. Yeah.
So yeah, now who is your favorite like other character, like villain, Harrison?
My other favorite character. Who of them do I like the most? Is it too basic to say Magneto?
I wouldn't say so. I think he was pretty key. At that point, it was what everyone knew as being like the cool, kind of sympathetic villain. Like that was kind of like the first Thanos is right character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's got loads of charisma. I think like he's super cool. Like, and frankly, I think in this show, I think the villains are probably weaker than you'd have in other shows. Like, they're not awful, but a lot of them are angry white man doesn't like mutants. And then it's just kind of that. And the ones who are mutants, the ones who are mutants, like the Evil Brotherhood, are really cartoony. Like, you know, they're a bit kind of dumb. I mean, there've been some versions of X-Men where I thought the Blob was really cool. And I kind of want them to make the Blob cool. But in this, he's just like, oh, ho, ho. You try to punch me? What? I'm gonna have a pizza.
That is awesome. I love it. PQ, how about you? Who is your favorite X-Men?
I'm gonna have to go Wolverine because, like I said when we started this is what kind of got me to love Wolverine. Like, I went from this to watching the live action X-Men films, and that love of Wolverine carried over into those films. Like, having this like rugged, like, you know, he's an alpha male type person. Like, doesn't always agree with the teamwork and kind of like does his own little thing every now and again, but he will stick with the team when when it's absolutely necessary. And the fact that he can make fucking claws come out of his hand, I mean, come on, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, no, that I think that I feel like that's the basic bitch answer is just to be like, oh yeah, no, Wolverine. Not that it's not that it's wrong, but that is absolutely it's like, of course it's Wolverine. That's everyone's answer.
But for me, I like, yeah, I probably could name a few more that are like, you know, like Nightcrawler as well, like.
Yeah,
Being able to teleport anywhere. Yeah, being able to teleport anywhere, that's pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Storm as well, like being able to control the weather. Perfect. Like, yeah, brilliant. And fly.
So yeah, who was your favorite like side character or like villain in the show?
Favorite villain, Mr. Sinister.
Ooh, good choice. Very good choice. See, for me, I think my favorite X-Men is I'm gonna be it's between Gambit and Wolverine, but I'm gonna be I don't want to be just the same, so I'm gonna go with Nightcrawler because like Nightcrawler is probably one of the coolest. Like the fact that he fights with swords, that I like his costume. Apparently, this has nothing to do with the '90s, but in like the new run of Spider-Man, he becomes the Amazing Spider, or I think he becomes the Uncanny Spider-Man, is what they call him. So yeah, he's still being his powers and it's like that, but he becomes Spider-Man for some reason. I'm like, fuck yeah. So a Nightcrawler is gonna be my answer. Let me see here. And also one of the coolest ones was that Bryan Singer version in X-Men 2. Like I think that's one of the coolest versions of Nightcrawler that's ever been done.
It's terrible that we don't really get him back in X3.
Yeah, no, that sucks. And as far as favorite bad guys, that's easy. Fucking Juggernaut all the way. I don't care how goofy and how like cartoony he is. Juggernaut is the shit. And like the fact that he's like brothers with Xavier, like that's just a cool dichotomy to me. Like Xavier all frail, he actually physically he has to use his mind to like do any of this shit. Versus Juggernaut is all just like brawn, and he's just like I'm gonna destroy your fucking house.
I wish they brought that in
to X3. Yeah, there's many things were wrong with X3.
I wish they would bring the whole Juggernaut being Xavier's brother into fruition a lot more than what they did for just the 90s, and like they've done it in the comic books as well. But I want it to be like a full-on canon thing. Like no matter what universe we go into next, that those two are always going to be brothers, and there's always going to be that huge sibling rivalry that they have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, and I just love that about that part of the show because that arc is kind of cool when it shows like Xavier's like stepdad married his mom because he just wanted to be rich and whatever, and he let his older brother just beat the crap out of him and be a racist. Like,
so I found a list of cameos from the 90s show.
Okay, go ahead.
Spider-Man was in it.
All right.
Cap was in it. Ghost Rider was in it.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
A robot Hulk was in it.
A robot Hulk?
Robot Hulk. Doctor Strange.
Ah.
Miss Marvel.
Yep.
Nick Fury was apparently in it.
That rings a bell.
I believe that.
Thor was apparently in it.
Oh.
What the hell?
So was Black Panther.
Oh, I do remember Black Panther being in it.
Wait, apparently Deadpool was in it.
Yes, so more transforms into Deadpool in Series 1.
Yeah, I saw that bit today. I noticed. I was like, oh, damn, Deadpool.
So
yeah, okay. he's going through the mine and he's like changing through like his like he's going through like basically he's just choosing costumes.
Yeah, so he goes to Deadpool, then Omega Red, then he changes to whoever the hell that guy was. And so that's kind of cool. Like, but that's kind of a cool little thing there that he actively turns into Deadpool.
Yeah. That Omega Red cameo is pretty fucking cool as well. Like seeing Omega Red just briefly there as well. That's pretty sick.
So here's my question to you guys: do you think we're gonna get a Deadpool we're actually gonna get Deadpool in the X-Men and the '90s X-Men, or do you think they're gonna put anything like kind of like that in there?
I'd like to. I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
I think it'd be Go ahead.
It'd be interesting to do. Like, I don't know whether like obviously if they could get Ryan Reynolds to do a quick little voice for it, that'd be pretty sweet. But a nice little fourth wall breaking Deadpool in a cartoon, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'd enjoy that. I'm trying to think who else I'd have to see, like just make a pop-up appearance.
Let's see. While you're thinking about that, I'll read Sweatword says the Blob is one of my favorite X-Men villains, and it's kind of fun to have a fat, strong dude rather than them all be generic muscle men. Which agreed.
Yeah.
Like as a fat guy, I always liked that. I quite liked again they made him really dumb, but I quite liked the Blob in X-Men Evolution. Like I like that he was this sort of hick character. Like, you know, he was just like a good old boy living in a trailer, going to tractor pulls, pulling the tractors himself. It was good.
Yeah.
Oh, Deadpool and Punisher had a mini cameo. Apparently, robots looked like them. All right.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the Hulk. That there was like a robot Hulk replica.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Brightburn says, I actually liked Juggernaut before 90s X-Men because I rented a video from Blockbuster where Spider-Man actually fought the Juggernaut. If you count barely surviving as fighting him, I'm like, oh, was it in the 90s cartoon? I don't remember the 90s Spider-Man and him ever fighting Juggernaut. Or maybe it was a different... I don't know. I'm not sure what video that is, but you need to tell me what that is so I can find it. The creator of the new cartoon has already severed ties with Disney. The show hasn't even come out. It's like,
no, so they sacked him.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Thanks for making our show. Now get the fuck out.
They sacked him, and he had just finished writing season 2.
Ah,
and that's why they're just like, all right, we got what we wanted from you. Now, there's the door. Let me see. Yeah, the villain gang in Evolution were fun. They were kind of got redemption arcs and weren't just generic bad yet. That's true. Like by the end of it, I think that they kind of wanted like to be like, what if these guys could be good guys because the power of boners is stronger. Because I remember like I think it was Avalanche. He was the one who was like, or Quake or whatever. He wanted to get with Shadowcat, and so he tried to be a good guy.
So just looking up, I'm just trying to find some more cameos that were in obviously that weren't apart from them. I'm trying to find more villains as well. So apparently, Black Widow was a part of the Avengers led by Captain America, consisting of Iron Man, Giant Man, Wasp, Spider-Man, and Hercules. Together, they battled the X-Men led by Magneto, and that was in One Man's Worth Part 1.
All right.
So we had like a whole wide range of some Avengers.
Yes, in DVD. Okay, yeah, that was like it was an alternate universe one, but I think that's one of the ones where like where these two, Storm and Wolverine go like they're transferred to an alternate timeline, and yeah, we get stuff like this. Nearly.
Okay. I love alternate timeline stuff in X-Men. I'm such a fan of it. One of the things that about X-Men that slightly annoys me though is that we've gone through like our favorite characters. And the moment I spoke, I've then gone and thought about other characters that I think I like more. Like, I love Beast more. And then, like, talk about villains.
Beast is amazing in this.
Yeah, no, Beast in this show is the greatest.
Beast is amazing. He's the Uncle Iroh of the show, and I love him.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. I do like that. Like, and he does go to. I like how that part where he's in prison and like Magneto tries to break him out, and he's like, "Nope, I'm just gonna stay right here." Like he breaks his chains off, and Beast puts them back on. He's like, "Nope, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna go to my court date, and I'm gonna sit." Like I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Beast!"
Isn't that in like the first couple of episodes?
I think it's like the third episode or
yeah,
something like that. Like
it's really early on.
But yeah, no, Beast is a really great character. I think it really does. The show deals with like him. I think there's one part where he gets promised like, "Hey man, if you help me out, I'll cure you and I'll help you turn back into you." And he's tempted by that, so he ends up doing it. Like he ends up helping this dude, and it turns out like he just wants to kill mutants, not actually cure them. And so he's like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And has to come to terms with the fact that like he's gonna look like this forever. It's a really cool episode, and Beast arcs are always great.
What did you think of Toad in this one?
Was Toad in this?
Toad was in it.
I don't remember Toad. Maybe I need to.
Isn't he like the old school Toad? Where he's got almost like a jester's costume on. Like he's super ugly, and he doesn't have some of the powers that he was later given. Like I know earlier versions of Toad, like basically he just jumps. He doesn't like spit
So
acid.
in this, his powers and abilities were enhanced leaping, long tongue, and he secretes a sticky substance.
Gross.
He was a member of the Children of the Shadow.
Okay, yeah. So that's weird. I don't remember Toad being in that show. Maybe it's just that he wasn't prominent, or he wasn't there very
the
long.
Toad from X-Men Evolution to the 90s one.
Yes, definitely.
Like Toad from the X-Men Evolution was so much better.
He was, because of that show, and also because of Toad's brief bits in the first movie, he was one of my favorite X-Men characters for a long time. Also, Toad could kick ass in X-Men Mutant Academy. Like, he had this like kick attack that hit like 17 times. It was sweet.
Another villain that was like she was a member of the Morlocks, but then she became one of the Horsemen of Apocalypse, Pestilence.
Ah.
She was Plague. So she was Plague when she was part of the Morlocks, and then when Apocalypse came about and made her into one of his horsemen, she became Pestilence.
So that's actually interesting that you bring that up, because John Bubba said some stuff about this. Says too bad the show nerfed Apocalypse. He said that a little while ago.
Did a bit.
And yeah, because I remember that being like one of the what was it? I think it was season 1, or was it 2 that Apocalypse showed up?
Season 2, I think.
He's definitely in season 2. Yeah, he might have been in season 1 as well. Like towards the end, because they, like I said, the show goes through storylines real fast. Because like I think Bishop shows up from the Apocalypse timeline to stop the assassination. I think at the end of the first season.
So he was in episode 9, The Cure.
Yes, because Angel goes to see him to get cured, and he becomes one of the Horsemen, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Now, let me see. All right. So I'm trying to think about. I had lost my train of thought on that one, because I had a whole thing I wanted to say. I don't know.
Sorry. I'll. In the meantime, Sabretooth. How do we feel about how 90s Sabretooth looks? Because I love Sabretooth. I hate his costume.
Yeah, he looks really goofy, like with that big old mane of hair behind him.
It's not even his. It's not even his hair. It's part of his costume.
It looks dumb.
Like it's more the like leotard, I think, that he's wearing. I'm like,
like the tiger.
What is this, my guy?
Legs.
Yeah, like his spandex onesie is a bit daft in that, and like it's got the 90s thing of he's so ludicrously big. I mean, it's also a fault of the Beast as well. I'll say, like I love Beast, but Beast is of stupid proportions in this show.
Yeah.
At least with Beast, like you kind of expect that with a name like Beast, okay, he's the biggest. But with Sabretooth, he just looks goofy. Like it's comically that he's like big.
Like Sabretooth and Mystique were brothers.
I mean,
whatever works for you.
They found love in a hopeless place.
I suppose.
But yeah,
because there was the Genosha arc as well in this, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
But yeah, Sabretooth looks fucking goofy. I'm gonna just. He looks like he's trying to. I don't know, like he's trying to be like Tony the Tiger, and then have like a Craven thing going for him.
I got a perfect. He looks like a stupid 80s WWE wrestler.
Kind of.
I'm not sure.
And now coming to the ring, Sabretooth.
Yeah, you just see that walk up to the ring, the fucking 80s wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. It looks goofy.
That was one of the costume changes for the movie that I think worked, because the Sabretooth in the movie is awesome. I think
the long trench coat cool. And
like it's very of its time and a bit kind of edgelord kid, but I was like, that guy looks awesome. And then they didn't let him have like basically any dialogue. He threatens Halle Berry once and then says nothing.
Just grunts.
That's a good point. Yeah, he barely talks that whole fucking movie.
He does get a good line though. The scream for me is a good line.
Yeah, and then later on, you owe me a scream.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Nimrod.
Which one's that?
Nimrod. He was sent from the future to stop Bishop.
Isn't Nimrod like a robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an advanced he's an advanced sentinel.
Yeah, actually, that kind of goes into a thing in general. Like, think about robots. This show has a very strange understanding of what technology was available in the 90s. Because there are just like cops with laser guns in this show.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of that censorship that we talked about when we talked about the 90s Spider-Man. Like they couldn't show actual guns, so they had to have laser weapons because it just looks, it's more kid friendly and it'll get past the censors.
Okay,
but
so
yeah, no.
When I said about my favorite villain being Mr. Sinister. Yeah, you go. There's Nimrod.
It looks ridiculous. Like, and with a name like Nimrod.
Yeah.
Let me see. Go ahead. What were you saying, Piggy?
Yeah, so going about Mr. Sinister. What about the Nasty Boys?
The Nasty Boys.
Okay, I don't remember that one either.
Its members were Mr. Sinister was the leader. You had Gorgeous George as the field leader, Ruckus, Hairbag, Slab, and Vertigo. And Morph was a member while he was brainwashed.
I don't remember the Nasty Boys. Glorious is
apparently that's them.
Oh, I do remember. Okay, I do remember those guys. Now you've shown them. That looks like someone's OCs for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay, let's see. You wanted to say about Glorious. What did he say?
Yeah, here's a question. What is the worst mutant power you can come up with? Doesn't have to be one a character has. And I think it's quite interesting because, like, one, it is fun to do, but also the comics do come up with some legit shit superpowers for some people. Like, there was a character in a comic series that was Weapon X the Draft, I think it was, where a guy could make water, but like a tiny amount of water. He can make a puddle wherever he put his hand. He could just touch it and go, there's a puddle now.
See, I think they showed a dumb one in the Bryan Singer one. The kid who can like change the TV by blinking.
Yes,
like he can turn the TV on or like control the TV by blinking.
In X2.
Yeah, and there's also a kid in X2 who's sitting there like she has like a notebook and she's doing this to it, and like as she's doing that, it's writing whatever she's like. She's taking notes by like moving her hand over the paper. I'm so she controls graphite.
Yeah, that's a pretty strict one. I'd say another one would probably for me. I don't know why. I just hate the kid and just hate that kid. It's an X2. It's the girl who screams when Stryker's men attack the mansion.
That's kind of handy.
Screams and just everyone just like collapses.
I mean, she has the same kind of power as Black Canary. Like that's a useful power.
I just find that power just even with Black Canary, I just find it stupid.
I don't know. If we're talking about just like the power, like if we're just gonna making up a power, I'm like the ability to control bees.
Like, man. Nah, come on. We played Bioshock. Like, you could mess someone up like that.
Could you imagine?
All right, no, okay, fine.
You say that there's someone in DC Comics who can control bees.
Explosive diarrhea. Are we talking about just like really bad diarrhea? Or are we talking about literally explosive? Talking to ocean creatures very easy to make irrelevant.
What if like your power was just you could make your hair grow? If you just like your hair just got longer.
A different hairstyle every day of the week.
And what? So at that point, Harrison, what would your X-Men name be? Wooly Willy? I think that's a good. I think that was a good one.
Harry.
I don't know. The astute highwayman.
Fox's excuse for having laser guns in the 90s was that they were mimicking G.I. Joe. Like,
I also think it was the censorship of guns and bullets.
Okay. All right, so the ability to teleport, but only 1 foot at a time. Like,
the ability. Okay. The ability to brush your teeth without needing toothbrush or toothpaste.
oh, so dude, that'd be that. You joke, but that'd be great. That'd actually be really fucking great. Like,
Just
I don't
go
have to
with,
brush
like,
my
with,
teeth. My
like,
teeth just stay clean.
just by, like, I don't know, thinking about it, you could just have clean teeth.
Oh god.
Imagine having a clean attack over that. What,
I
is it
saw a
superpower, or?
I saw a podcast talk about the mutant power where you could just make your hair fall out and that's it.
Yeah,
The reverse of what Harry said.
yeah, but anything like that would just be like useless. With like, I don't know, like, I mean, some of them are just kind of dumb in themselves. I mean, like I like Toad, and I like the long tongue thing, but also the long tongue thing seems like a super big liability. Like, how many
Oh
people
yeah.
on the X-Men alone could slash that in half
Yeah.
immediately?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And then you
I
have
mean,
like
you could also be like what happens in the first Bryan Singer movie. You get that wrapped around a bit of metal and lightning strikes you. You're
Yep.
fucked.
Yeah, no, that part. See, I was sitting there being like, "Ooh, that could be useful in bed," but you guys were like, "Oh no, fuck that! Wolverine's gonna chop it in half."
Well, not for fighting, I guess. What about the ability to make your bones shrink at will? You can't make them bigger. You could just make them shrink, and the rest of you doesn't shrink, but your bones do.
How would that work in proportion?
You'd just be a blob. You'd be a blob with a tiny little skeleton inside.
I feel like you'd crush all of your organs immediately.
You
But,
would, like, instantly.
Yeah, no, your
just
rib cage would end up crushing your heart and your lungs.
You end up killing yourself, and then just by shrinking them just a little bit, you'd end up stopping yourself from breathing.
There are a lot of like mutant characters that if they were legit like a teenager that didn't know what was happening to them, they would kill themselves with their own powers like
Yeah.
straight away. Like Shadowcat would walk into a wall, panic, and stop being like, intangible, and would just like solidify inside the wall.
Yeah, and then she'd like suffocate or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like Nightcrawler, same thing.
She sneezes while she's on an airplane flight and just goes through the fucking floor of the plane and just falls to her death.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a crazy thought. Just on this thought, if she were to do that, if she were to fall from an airplane, just like achoo, and fall out of an airplane, if she were to activate her powers again, could she survive like falling through the earth? Like, or would she just, and if like she tried, would she just keep going until she hit the core?
Yeah, she'd get stuck, I guess, at some point.
Yeah,
no, that's a weird thought. Oh, the physics of the physics of the X-Men, just like fuck all of that.
Can you imagine if, Nightcrawler? Imagine if he teleported, but accidentally teleported on top of off of the top of a really tall building. Or
Okay, so
somehow didn't understand his powers, teleported like 60 foot up in the air. Like, dude's dead. Dude ain't
Yeah,
recover.
Yeah.
And then that is why they have that's what I feel like we're just writing an episode of The Boys at this point.
Yes, essentially. Yeah.
Because it's like, what are horrible ways that these powers could go wrong? Like, what if a chick got stuck to Iceman's dick?
Oh god, could you imagine?
It's like, yes, I could.
Imagine Iceman going to town on some girl, and he just shoots frozen cum inside her,
or turns frozen and in the middle in the middle of it.
He would rip her apart doing that.
It's horrible. Okay, Harrison, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just thinking about when you like a kid gets their tongue stuck to a flagpole. I feel like that's the early warning system. Like she goes down on him and then can't get her tongue off, and then she's like, okay, I can't go any further here.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
God, could you imagine?
Let's see. All right, so Brightburn mentioned I missed one of his comments. Said would like to talk about the two elephants in the room real quickly. X-Men season 1 through 4, Chef's Kiss supposedly, but season 5 not so much. I'm not. I don't remember season 5 as much, but I don't know. I have to go back and watch it. And I do remember at the end of season 5, Charles Xavier dies, and I know that's something that was really meh for a lot of people. And the X-Men theme has a little in common with a Turkish cop show. What show is that? Oh, called Linda. A Turkish cop show called Linda, filing copyright issue against the 90s X-Men theme. Oh.
Well,
I'll have
that Turkish cop show can fuck off. It's the X-Men theme now.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't think about Turkish cops when I hear that. I think about Wolverine. Having super strength, but only in your arms and legs. Oh yeah, so if you can lift up anything, but if you try to lift up a car, it's gonna crush you. Saw Peaky trying to figure out how to word that, just rolling with it.
Yeah.
Ooh, having an extra long tongue get stuck in a car window. I don't. In what context? Why would you have your tongue stuck in a car window? What would you be doing?
There are so many ways I think that you could have accidents with it. Like Toad thinks it's really funny. He's gonna like steal someone's ice cream.
Here you go. When you pee, it's acid.
Maybe. It's a definite maybe.
So every time you go to take a piss, you piss acid. Like,
I mean, if you coated your toilet with like what's it called, the polyurethane or whatever, the shit that doesn't like dissolve.
Yeah.
Then you could probably do it.
It's just like you go around to this guy's house, there's just Breaking Bad plastic barrels of his piss. It's like I can't pour it down the drain. Like,
no, I mean, you'd have eternal work. You'd have eternal work with like the cartel if you ever wanted to do that. It was like, Peaky, we got another job for you. Okay.
Did you ever been on a road trip and really needed to go for a piss? So you stop it from the woods and you just make a tree fall down in the road.
I mean, isn't pee already? So yes, it has uriatic acid in it, but like not enough to where you're going to dissolve anything.
Acid that would melt through someone's like entire body.
Yeah, like, we're talking like xenomorph, like acid.
Yeah,
kind of like.
Like if he was going to like go fight with the X-Men, he's just constantly having to stay really hydrated. So like everyone else is doing shit. There's one guy just at the back chugging water.
Well, no, just carry around condoms of your own pee. Like, exactly.
Oh
just sit there.
Like, oh my god, he just threw pee at that guy. You just see a melted puddle.
I'm like, exactly what would happen. It's like, did you just throw like, what? Oh god, and the guy just like dissolves.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it looks and smells like pee. So like,
the urinator.
It's a brilliant name.
What about having rogue's powers, but you can't control it, like Poison Ivy's kiss, and you can hit. Wait. All right, having rogue's powers, but you can control it, like like controlling Poison Ivy's kiss, and you can heal like Logan. So basically, you're rogue, but you can decide which powers you take and which ones you don't, and then you heal. I'm like, at that point, you're just kind of OP.
Yeah, at that point, you're unstoppable, really.
Yeah,
honestly, rogue's powers are kind of unstoppable anyway. Like if she just like whatever, they're temporary or whatever, but as long as she can just keep on like touching you, I'm like, dude.
Also, like if someone purely psychotic got rogue's powers, there would be a trail of bodies wherever that person went.
Yeah, because all you need to do is cut off a part of that person, and then you just got it, right? I don't know if it keeps working if they're dead, but like if you just got like Cyclops' toe, and then you've permanently got like just like laser beam powers because you've got it hanging around your neck.
Utility belt just full of like toes and fingers from different mutants.
Yeah.
Like
I wonder,
bit of paper wrapped around it so you know whose it is.
So I mean, you'll probably end up putting him into a coma. But if she wanted to like take Cyclops' powers, couldn't she though, just by touching him for too long? Like that's how we talked about it a minute ago. That's how she got Captain Marvel's powers. So in theory, if she wanted anyone's powers, couldn't she just like touch them for a good few minutes and then like just put them in a coma?
Could Rogue do that to every single member of the X-Men and have every single member's powers?
Yes, and then become the most overpowered mutant in all of the world.
She would be an Omega mutant. She'd be an Omega level mutant at that point.
Like, yeah, no, she'd be like the deadliest one. She'd be the new Apocalypse at that point.
Yeah. She would
Yeah.
bring about the end of the world.
Oh, do you know what? You just made me think about Powerful Mutants. Another one that this show did, and I'm glad that it did it. And it's another family issue. Who's that mutant? I'm trying to think of his name. He's Charles Xavier's son. That I think is this the son he had with Moira McTaggart.
Legion? Is it Legion?
Xavier's son. Hang on.
I got a feeling it's Legion. Or
Yeah,
something
it's
like that.
well, according to the comics, or according to the comic books, yes, it's Legion.
Yeah.
In X-Men, it looks like in X-Men Evolution, or yeah, in X-Men Evolution, he was called Lucas, but it was still yeah. Let me see. And then in one comic book series, it's called Charles Xavier Jr. But so yeah, like, but it is Legion. I don't know if this was in the '90s cartoon. Let me see.
He's like a
okay. I've gotten confused. I thought it was Charles Xavier's son that I was thinking of. Apparently, it's not. So the character I'm thinking of is Proteus, who's Moira McTaggart's son, and Charles is sort of, but like he's like an insanely good mutant because he can like, he has a psionic ability to manipulate and alter reality. And he exists in a state of pure psionic energy and can take possession of human bodies. And like every time he escapes, shit's really hit the fan. Thank you. Yeah, John Bubba says Proteus. Yeah.
Here, X-Men 90s.
Why did I think he was Charles Xavier's son?
Because I think that's a thing where where him and Moira McTaggart have like hooked up before. So I think that might have been where it comes from. Is that of course they had a son.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's me. I don't know. I see Proteus. Let's see if I can find that. Yep. So we got Wolverine versus Proteus. Let's see. Okay. So, wait. No, damn it. This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting to see the dude with energy.
I mean, I think we saw that he was like pulling Wolverine in half.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit, he was. And then Wolverine got all fucking like PTSD about it.
Yeah, like Proteus does some intense stuff, and in the comics, in like the Ultimate run, there was like a very interesting moment where like he jumped into Wolverine because he could possess other people's bodies, but he would like make their body break down, and Wolverine was the only body that could heal fast enough to keep him in there. But Wolverine threw himself in front of a truck to get him out of his body. It was interesting.
Jeez. See, I recall that fight. Logan broke to tears. Damn. Like they did do a lot of character development with Wolverine in that show. Like there's a whole arc where when he meets Nightcrawler, where like Logan is like, "Fuck this, God doesn't exist. There is no God." And then Nightcrawler makes him believe in God again.
Yeah.
Like he gives him a Bible and everything. That's a controversial episode. You can't do that anymore. I also told you, Gilbert, that Spider-Man fighting Juggernaut was an episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, where Spider-Man and Iceman, where Spider-Man, Iceman, and a character created for the show, which is Firestar, fight crime together. So yes, I remember that show, but I don't remember that episode. I'll have to look.
Firestar was created for that show, but then they introduced the character into the comics. It was like a Harley Quinn type scenario with Firestar.
Toad's tongue isn't as bad as a prolapsed colon, man. Ugh.
Oh my god!
Yeah, the concept of like I can use my colon like a whip is like quite a hard one.
Is that your tail? No, it's my ass.
No.
Oh, that's horrible. That is awful. All right, so I think now that we're have about a half hour left, so now I'll ask, since we've pretty much talked about this for, and I think we've talked pretty good about it. What do you guys want out of the new one? Like, this is obviously a continuation of the old show, like, and that based off the trailer showing like he's dead, and now this one. So I'm curious, like Harrison, what are you wanting out of this? So you want it to still take place in the '90s, or did it be a modern day thing, or what are you looking at?
I think it might as well continue taking place in the '90s, sort of following on from where we saw. Like I said, the world they create in that cartoon is so out of reality that you won't you won't notice that it's in the 90s, except that no one has smartphones. But they've got like technology that could probably match that anyway. What would I like to see? I think one thing I'd like them to change from the 90s show is Storm's dialogue, if that could be less stupid. Like, watching it back, I forgot like the stuff where she spent all the time going, "Nature, come to my command, summon a wind to find these bastards." I'm like, this is too much. Calm down, just do it, Storm. We know you can.
Yeah, I do remember that vaguely. Like they always, it's like forces of nature, hear my call. It's like you don't need to do that. You just can control the weather. Can we just?
Yeah, just do it, love. So yeah, I think if they could change that, what else would I like? For my fanboyness, I want a better relationship for Rogue and Gambit. I want them to have a happy ending.
Yeah, I could be on board with that. Although, fuck that shit. I want to have Jean Grey not Jean. What's her name? Rogan Cyclops hook up. Make it. Yes.
No.
all I imagine is that you being Patrick Stewart in First Contact. No, and just like throwing something at the window.
No. It's like when the comics said they're like, "Oh, she got together with Colossus because she could touch him when he's in his metal form." I'm like, no. Rogue and Gambit is the greatest love story that Marvel has ever written.
Although, all right, so I'm just going to do a sidebar. What do you guys think of them? The fact that they made Rogue not as endowed as she was.
I'm okay with it. Like, I'm sorry, but like, there's a time and a place to simp for cartoon characters, and nowadays isn't the time or place.
Fair.
He just fucking said that.
And that's coming
this
from
motherfucker
like,
right here just said that.
Let's be honest, because a majority of the audience that's gonna watch this show is gonna be the audience that watched it back in the 90s. Like,
yeah,
we're adults now. We can stop simping for cartoon characters.
I mean, we can.
And if I'm saying that, I'm gonna get serious for a second. So, I'm fucking saying that. Then there's fucking trouble.
Yeah, no, I was like, I think we had a first. We might have to clip this and be like, and save this for evidence to prove that you would do in fact, or you can turn off the simp switch.
I want to stitch that with like clips of you talking about the butts in Ahsoka.
Like, yeah, dude, seriously,
they're not cartoon characters. They're live action.
I mean, they were cartoon characters, and they're based off of a cartoon character.
That's not the point. I can simp on real life people, but not cartoons.
You know what? I think it's just like as long as they're not children, simp over whoever the fuck you want, dude. I don't care. Cartoon, real life, as long as they're of age,
You know, I still hold a flame for Shigo. You know.
There you go. See, by the way, says I like the fact that Rogue is such a flirt that she was hitting on 90s Spider-Man. Well, yeah, dude, she hit on everyone. She hit on Cyclops. She hit on Gambit. She hit on. I'm pretty sure she hit on Beast at least once. And then Spider-Man.
She hit on Wolverine, I think, at one point.
Like, yeah, dude, she hit on everyone, and I'm like, yeah, she did. Nah, but. Peaky is sus right now. Not gonna lie, call an emergency meeting. Yeah, I think we have an imposter.
Oh shit, it's a scroll.
It's a scroll.
Shit, maybe the hammer actually did hit me in the head the other day, and I'm just in a coma, and this is just me. This is just my comatose body, like trying to deal with the trauma.
This is Peaky's dream, and we're all just in it.
Yeah, I feel in my dream, Gil, but I'm worried.
How do you think I feel? Fuck. She needs a walking baker. Sorry. Oh, wow. Okay, so John Bubba says, sorry, that anorexic Rogue looks so bad. Too dang skinny. Well, it's not for everyone, but I guess we'll have to see. Maybe she'll bulk up by the end of the series. Pretty sure cartoons at one point were designed to be hot, but So just to people, just so you know, maybe.
I mean, yeah, like this tradition of it. To be honest, I do kind of agree with Peaky. Like, we don't need to be able to watch X-Men 97 and be like, yeah, I came here for the butts.
Yeah,
Like,
I want to go there for the. I want to go for the story and for the nostalgia, and not look at animated curves that have been done on a computer. If I want to look at curves, I'll go on Pornhub and look at curves.
Like,
I mean,
if you need that, there's plenty of subreddits that will give you exactly what you want. Like,
there's 4chan, if anything.
well, yeah, and I offer you. Hang on, let me see. Let me sure I don't get in trouble for this. Okay, yeah, and if it's such a big deal to you all who are like, I want my my hot rogue or whatever. Well, here, there you go. There's your thick like sexy rogue. There you go. We're done. Had to Google that. No, but anyway, so there you go, guys.
Search history. Rip your search history for that.
But there you go, guys. Maybe I should. But if Rogue touches someone who is thick, does she become thick? Yes. If Rogue touches an OnlyFans girl, then she becomes thick because that's like kind of their only power.
I do want to say like I don't, as much as like people can not like the design as much. I don't think it's fair to say that the new design of Rogue is anorexic. Like, I'm looking at it side by side. She's actually got like a thicker waist than the original design of Rogue.
Mm.
Mm. And yeah, I think it's just that it's because we're ruined by that one meme. You know the one of her
that one shot. We've all seen that one shot.
Like, we're all ruined by that, but yeah, I don't think she looks bad. Oh well, look at that, her butt's smaller. So what?
Who gives a fuck? Like, she's an animated fucking character. Go get a real woman.
And let's be honest, guys. I love how pissed off you are about this of all things. But I want to point out though, if you were attracted to her before, you're probably going to be attracted to her again. So you know what? Just fuck it, dude. Just go with the flow, man. It's like the dude abides.
Go and get a real woman.
Go and get a real woman. Fucking this guy has sex a couple of times. Fucking thinks he thinks he's fucking Watterson over here. But I don't know why I chose that one. I don't know why I chose Dazed and Confused for Peaky, but fuck it. That's what I love about high school girl. I don't know why, but anyway, moving on. So, Peaky, what is it you want out of the show? I'm not sure if I already asked you.
No, you skipped ahead of me. I want to see what's going to happen with the fruition of Magneto, like now, kind of like being in charge of the X-Men. Like,
yeah, that's an interesting. That is a weird thing that they've teased, isn't it? That like he owns the X-Mansion now.
Yeah, everything Charles has now belongs to Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm very like intrigued to see what's going to happen with that and what storylines we're going to get out of that, because Magneto's very like is very like one-sided when it comes to like mutants. It's like he doesn't want the peace between humans and mutants. And he never has done. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. I'd like to see, again, I want to see the Jean Grey clones come into this, because that's some really interesting storylines, because like I said, that's how we get Cable. So seeing something from that will be quite interesting. Yeah, maybe we get some more like in-depth storylines. Maybe you should bring some other mutants that we haven't really seen before, like that have been in the comics but we've never really had on screen, or if they've been on screen they've had a very minor role, and give them something else, give them like a bit of a bigger role, maybe have them potentially join the X-Men or even just team up with the X-Men would be pretty cool. I'd love to see the brother. I'd like to see Magneto's Brotherhood back as well.
That'd be cool. What were you gonna say, Harrison?
I was thinking about when you talk about like other characters you could see, like Marrow. I don't think we've had Marrow really show up in anything.
No.
Like,
don't think we
I
have.
quite like Marrow.
Let's see. So there's this one right here from the trailer, and it's the Daily Bugle, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's like, first of all, it has on the top, it says Spider-Man, a mutant, and then it has the Hellfire Gala. So I'm like, apparently there's like the Hellfire Club or Hellfire Gang or whatever is going to be showing up. I don't know what's up with it. I feel like this is a vague, or this is like a vague reference of like trans people, of like the mutant inside scoop, mutant fashion shit, mutant story hour. You know what I mean? I feel like we're gonna start getting shit like that. And
I'd like to see, like, considering I was looking at the list
That's
of
Maggot. Sorry.
Who?
Right. So the black guy with the white hair in that's like a lesser known mutant called Maggot. And we just talk about them putting in mutants we've never seen before. I've never seen anyone do anything with Maggot. That is cool.
I'd like to see more cameos as well. Like, I'd like to bring other, like I said, like the team ups of like other Marvel characters. Like, bring Punisher into it.
Bring Punisher into it. Bring Leech. Bring back Leech because he was there for a minute. I'd be down to see the Morlocks. I want to see Pyro. Pyro would be cool. Colossus, because I don't think Colossus was ever in the. I don't remember seeing him in the original 90s X-Men. Was he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's particularly in. They do an episode about Omega Red, and they throw in Colossus because he's Russian, and it's some fantastic 90s American Russian accents.
I
am mutant. I come to your country. I have metal. I punch you in face.
In Soviet Russia, road for you.
I'd love to see his sister Magic or Magic.
Magic, yeah. Blink would be a cool one.
Blink would be.
Let's see. Shit. Like Shadowcat, because I do not recall Shadowcat being in.
No, I don't recall Shadowcat being in it.
Was Psylocke in the 90s?
They're not mutants, but Cloak and Dagger.
Psylocke. Let's see.
Was.
Hang on. Psylocke X-Men 90s. I don't. Oh yeah, she was. Would you look at that?
Yeah, I'd like to see. I love me some Cloak and Dagger, so I'd like to see Cloak and Dagger.
But if they're not mutants, why would you? All right, so we already talked about like how they had like Ghost Rider and Thor and X-Men, or and Wolverine, or not Wolverine, and what's his name, Spider-Man and everything. So it's like I get it, but it's like I don't know if we need that.
I'd like to see it. Just bring Cloak and Dagger into it, but just give me a Cloak and Dagger in the MCU. God damn it!
Cloak and Dagger in the MCU. Don't they already have that? Didn't they put it like a Hulu?
No, Cloak and Dagger was an ABC show. It wasn't part of the MCU.
Yeah, well, fine, whatever. It's stupid. I still say that's stupid. But here, yeah, we did in fact have Psylocke.
I should show up. Yeah.
Which also, you guys, I noticed nobody ever said anything about that. Nah, I'm kidding.
I think they did.
I think they absolutely.
It is probably if it is on the
they
internet.
Absolutely did.
They
absolutely did. Right. They absolutely have. Let's see. Oh, so Gloria says, "Ha ha ha." Okay, Harry saying that's Maggot when I just phased out totally got me. Yeah, because you had to know her. You did have to know her. That's Maggot.
Sorry, I was excited. I've never seen Maggot in anything before. I was like, oh my god.
Still think Rogue's appearance from 90s X-Men to X-Men 97 is unique because it would be extremely difficult to do a cool world scene where animated Rogue becomes flesh and blood.
You ever seen Cool World?
I have not.
Cool World. It's like a slightly more adult Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's got Brad Pitt in it, and Brad Pitt is like a kind of detective who lives in Cool World, an animated universe. And
oh, okay. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, there's a whole thing with a character of Hollywood, who's like a hot. She's the Jessica Rabbit of the movie, and at one point she goes into the real world, and they have an actress actually playing her.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that'd be kind of hard to do, I guess, if you were to. I don't know. You might be able to find someone to do that, like to play like a live action Rogue, and with hair and with the a Southern Belle chick with those proportions. But I'm like, it's not necessary.
There's someone out there wearing a pair of Daisy Dukes right now who would fit the bill if you needed to. They're most likely making a lot of posts on Instagram.
Because as great as Anna Paquin, I don't know, was yeah, she couldn't exactly cosplay as 90s X-Men Rogue. I'm like, yeah, but see, that's my problem. Is if the whole thing about voice acting is that you're not supposed to be like, it doesn't matter if you don't look like the character, like you're not supposed to. I'm like, I don't. So so it'd be cool and all if we could ever find someone who'd be able to do that. Play the live if we had a Katie Sackhoff type who was able to be the voice and the body actor, but it's I don't think that's necessary, at least not for Rogue. Like I don't think it's necessarily like. I don't think it matters, is what I'm getting at.
At least with Katie Sackhoff, like Bo-Katan actually animated Bo-Katan actually looks like her. So
yeah. So yeah, with that one, it actually works.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind seeing some extreme threats show up and have the X-Men have a team up, like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance type of arc. That might be cool. Like having like Shield or having Captain America, having like the Avengers or something like that show up, or even Spider-Man, Blade.
Cloak and Dagger.
No, not Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger.
We don't even know who Cloak and Dagger are.
No one's interested in your weird D-tiered Marvel heroes, Peaky.
Yeah, seriously though. Like
I want to talk about Maggot. Cool heroes.
It's like
I do agree with the Blade would be pretty cool. Like have Morbius show up.
Okay, it's Morbin time.
No, not that Morbius. The real Morbius.
See, now I don't think that's not likely to have Morbius show up because right now Morbius, like Kraven, all the Spider-Man villains are busy being made into shitty Sony movies. And I still have yet to see Madam Web. I'm like, I feel like it was gonna be crap.
Don't do it, Gilbert. Just don't give the Sony the satisfaction.
Yeah, I'll wait till it comes out on like HBO or something, and I'll watch it for free.
7 Seas, if anything.
Yeah, sure. I'll wait till it comes out on my streaming services. Until then, I don't want to go see it because it looks dumb.
Do you know what would be awesome if they did in this? Like, in the way that the 90s cartoon took like storylines from the comics and then would reproduce them in the cartoons, so it give you like a condensed version. Did you guys ever read the Wolverine Origins, not the movie, but the book, where it's like the 1800s in America or in Canada, and it's like when he's a child. It's fantastic comic.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see them do that, like flashbacks.
And well, they already they did kind of do that, didn't they? In X-Men Origins Wolverine, like they started off with him being in like whatever 1800s Ontario or whatever,
but that movie sucked.
Oh, you're absolutely right. But that like the opening 10 or 20 minutes of that movie is him fighting through like World War I, the Civil War, and all these different fucking like shit.
No.
Also, that comic's like way more vague because like that movie is like, oh yeah, and Sabretooth with his brother, and that's way more vague in the comic book. It's not.
They were really on the nose with that. It's like, oh yeah, no, your mom cheated on your dad with some other guy. Turns out the guy was a mutant.
Yeah. So I'm not so keen on that, but like I used to love reading that book, so I'd love to see that story told out a bit better.
Okay, so yeah, fair enough.
I just thought of another like really useless mutant power.
Go ahead.
Being able to shapeshift into Mr. Bucket.
God damn it. Yeah, you don't get that because that's a thing. We were playing Viscera Cleanup on and he keeps on fucking. So in that game, you'd be amazed how many times you say the word fucking bucket. Like,
you say it without even meaning to.
Yeah, and so we got to the point where it's like the word lost its meaning, and Peaky would also every now and Mr. Bucket. Like you just say Mr. Bucket random. It got so old so quick. Yeah, no, it was and so yeah. The Mr. I hate Mr. Bucket now, and I wish that toy never existed.
It's also like technically Mr. Bucket is a really old callback for Fulcrum because I think Mr. Bucket was like one of my quiz question answers back in 2018 or something.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's true. we can't get away from it. It's like herpes; it just keeps coming back. Yeah.
She wait until my Mr. Bucket arrives in the post. I've bought a Mr. Bucket.
Let's see. I mean, Iron Man dropping Logan on Apocalypse's back, Ghost Rider summoning Hellfire, and Storm turning that into a tornado to attack Galactus. Be pretty good. Like, yeah, Galactus would be cool if they were to ever have like a world-ending event, like make it Galactus and like the Fantastic Four show up, Ghost Rider, Thor, like we have all of them at the same time. That'd be kind of cool.
End of season 1.
Maybe. Definitely, maybe that'd be kind of cool. Like, that's something we haven't done yet. Like we already did the Apocalypse one in the old series.
We've done Phoenix Force.
Yeah, Phoenix is already done. So if they were gonna do one, make it Galactus or make it like some kind of world-ending threat. Like I don't know, fuck it, bring in Venom, make it the symbiotes versus the X-Men.
Venom.
Or the Skrulls or the Kree. Come on, dude, it's Marvel. We got a million things that you could use.
I'd love to see the Skrulls. Well, we've had the Super Skrull. The Super Skrull, from what I was reading on the list, the Super Skrull has been in it.
Yeah, I think the Skrulls did show up because, like, the X-Men in the comics, they got tied into the whole like secret invasion thing, and there were some really cool parts of that. So it makes sense to have some Skrulls in there.
What did you guys like it when the 90s Iron Man sounded like the actor from the parody film Airplane? Because it was. No, what? No way. Hang on.
Which one?
Yeah.
The one that had the like I Am Iron Man like theme tune. I am Iron Man.
No, it says Robert. Yeah, so Robert Hayes was the guy. He was the pilot on fucking Airplane.
Okay.
But it says here that he played Spider-Man. Not. I'm trying to see if that's true.
Radioactive Spider-Man.
Oh no. Okay, he was in. I guess he was Iron Man in the Iron Man TV series. Let me see. Oh, would you look at that? Yeah, indeed he was. Robert Hayes was Iron Man / Tony Stark and Living Laser, whatever the hell that is.
Oh, Living Laser.
But yeah, cool. I did not know that. And wow, dude, Jennifer Hale was, even back then, she was fucking Spider-Woman. And Julia Carpenter. So, but anyway, moving on. That's a cool little fucking callback right there. Living Laser is an Iron Man villain. I did not know that. Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, I don't think he was ever in a Marvel thing, although that would be cool if he was.
That'd be pretty.
I just want you to know, we're all counting on you.
Don't call me Shirley.
Oh man, yeah, Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. It's such a good movie. It's such crap, but it's so good.
Need to watch that now.
Any Leslie Nielsen movie is worth a watch.
I need to watch Airplane. I need to watch Starship Troopers.
Need to watch The Naked Gun. That's a good one too.
Yeah, Naked.
Didn't he do another one that's like, it's like another spoofy spy movie?
Yes, Spy Hard.
That's it, Spy Hard.
He was. He's done so many great things. Repossessed, an Exorcist parody movie. It's pretty good in that.
Nice.
They're trying to put the demon back inside of someone or something.
No, it's like.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
They got Linda Blair, who played the girl in The Exorcist, back to be like she's a woman who just gets possessed again. She was possessed when she was a kid, and she gets possessed again. And it's also Linda Blair. It's a weirdly horny movie. If not having Rogue's butt is so bad for you, go watch Repossessed and see some boobs. And there's a bit in it where a priest is trying to exorcise this woman, and she throws a tiny plastic head of Leslie Nielsen at him. And later on, this priest tells the bishop, "Well, she did give me a little head." That's the kind of caliber of movie you're watching.
That's funny though. So long as we're just talking about real quick about Leslie Nielsen movies, Dracula Dead and Loving It, great movie. Go watch that. Pretty sure that's a Mel Brooks film, and it's absolutely worth it. Go check it out.
Renfield. Open the door.
Fucking yeah, that entire. It's like he tries to get her to come outside, and she trips over shit.
Yeah.
Like
You are standing in the closet.
Come to the door. Watch out for the foot. Rest. Anyway, so all right, guys, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. So I'll go around the one last time. Harrison, what are your final thoughts on this? Anything last thing you want to say about X-Men before we move on?
It's a good show. I did think, because we had the 90s Spider-Man retrospective not too long ago, I do feel that if you compare them, I think the Spider-Man show is better than the X-Men show. Even though I prefer X-Men comics, I love the X-Men a lot, but I think this cartoon does rush through things a bit fast sometimes. Like you'll go through things that were multiple issues, arcs, and the show will just go like, bam, it's done in 20 minutes. We're never looking at it again. Although actually saying they never look at it again, they do have great continuity, and they often refer back to stuff that happened seasons ago. So it's a good cartoon. If you have not seen it, or if you don't know much about the X-Men, go and check it out. It'll give you a good base knowledge.
Even if you really want to check out X-Men 97 and you don't have like the time to invest in all the seasons of the original, go watch a retrospective of like everything you need to know before you watch 97.
Honestly,
because
just like
9 times out of 10, those videos will give you all the necessary details you need to know of like major story arcs that have happened and character arcs that have happened that are crucial to what could be happening in 97.
Oh, you know they're gonna be. I mean, at that point, I would just go watch it. At least to watch the first season, because you know that they're definitely gonna be making reference to stuff that happened in the original series.
Yeah,
like, that's my thoughts.
I'm just saying, like, if because we've only got a couple like 4 days until 97 comes out. If you just want a quick glimpse of what the original was, go watch one of those retrospectives.
Here, on that, I'm gonna look at real quick. I'm gonna see X-Men 90s. How many episodes? Because there's, I don't know, man. 70s. It's 76 episodes. Yeah, that's a lot for 4 days, but you could probably get through like at least 10 of those in a couple of at least in a couple of days. I'm like, come on, man, get watching. It's not that.
I think
hard.
I'm on episode 5, so.
Yeah, I was on episode like 5 or 6. I was on the one where Wolverine got like trapped in the Arctic with like the Inuits for some reason.
I think that's the episode. I think that's the episode after the one I'm on.
Kind of like Wolverine and the X-Men just for Emma Frost. All right, guys. I think real quick, actually, Peaky, I didn't ask you. What do you want to say about the show? Any last thoughts?
No, I think I've covered everything that I've wanted to cover.
Very good. Well, then, yeah, I'll just say, yeah, go watch the show, or yeah, go at the very least get familiar with it before you watch the 97 or the newest one. Do what Peaky said. At least get familiar with the stuff, and you know, if at least one of those like sum up videos.
I mainly say that because obviously, like the characters that you see in this compared to what you've seen before in like the movies or other series are completely different. Like their characters are portrayed differently. Like just get to grips with how the characters are, and especially the animation style as well. Because from what I've seen of 97, it's roughly the same animation style. So, which is like this day and age. A 90s cartoon is pretty hard to kind of like get to grips with animation style if you've never seen it before. So it's a good way to familiarize yourself with all of that.
Very good. Yeah, and like I said, just go check it out. You know, see what if you like it, or like I said, check out the you know, what you need to know videos, and if that piques your interest, maybe go watch an episode or two. But Peaky, real quick before we go, I do want you to talk about your channel. Tell us what's going on your stuff.
Yeah, so I've released another.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm working on it. There we go.
I've released another interview with video this week with a good friend of the channel, Cosmic Toy Man, who actually runs his own toy shop as well. So I got chatting with him on obviously like why he made the channel and everything, same as what I've done with other content creators. I've also released on Friday the penultimate episode of Among Us. So
Nice.
one episode of Among Us left for now. We probably will go back and play it again at some point, but I'm a little bit burnt out of playing Among Us. We've done 9 videos of it, and it got a little bit stale. So we're testing new waters, we're playing new games, we're doing different things now to carry on the what is game night. And not so, and then this week I'm actually going to a meet and greet with a Power Ranger actor who I'm potentially going to be try and vlog the entire trip. So that will be a bonus video for next week. And I have another interview with coming out this week at some point, because the day I usually release them is when I'm actually traveling from the meet and greet, so I won't be able to release it because I'll be on a train. So it'll be more likely be Thursday that I'll release it.
All right. Well, yeah, guys, go check out Peaky's channel. He has all kinds of gameplay videos. He has all kinds of like his reptile videos, his reviews of his reactions to trailers. He has all kinds of cool stuff. So go check that out.
And I'm also tomorrow from 12 p.m. UK time, so lunchtime over here in the UK. I will be live on Twitch because I will be now be doing weekly Twitch streams.
Very nice. And then Harrison, anything you want to say before we get out?
No further updates from me. Still working on a few things, and there's loads of stuff that I want to do, but with my living situation at the moment, it's difficult for me to find everything. We talk about X-Men a lot, and I've been mentioned how I was rewatching TNG. I'm trying to find my copy of Planet X, the crossover book where some X-Men end up on the Enterprise. Like, because that would be really great to read on the channel. Sorry that I've been so slow on everything, everybody. But please do keep looking at the channel. We still have content coming out. We have these fantastic streams. We have Gilbert's fantastic audiobook of the Clone Troopers. I can't remember what it's called now. The Republic Commando.
Hard Contact. Yeah,
Hard Contact.
Republic Commando Hard Contact. But yeah, all right. So, but that is, thank you very much, Harrison. We all look forward to what. Yeah, I do look forward to the X-Men meeting up with Star Trek. I'm like, what stoner came up with that idea?
A stoner that wanted to make money.
All right, guys. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to Glorious, to Brightburn, to Patrick, John Bubba. Let's see who else was in here. Well, that looks like that was it for pretty much on YouTube. But we had a bunch of people watching us on Twitter, apparently. So there's like 18 people apparently watching us on Twitter.
Yeah,
so,
Twitter. Live streams on Twitter seem to have been getting like pretty prominent with viewers, I've noticed.
So yeah. So thank you guys all for watching. And if you guys wanted to get a shout out, then comment or jump in the live chat here on YouTube. And yeah, like Harrison said, check out our other audiobooks, our gameplay streams, our other podcast episodes, and all kinds of other content that we have coming out. Until next time, yeah, I have been Gilbert.
I have been Harry.
I've been Peaky.
And we have been the Fulcrum Entertainment Podcast, and we've been talking about fucking the X-Men. See you later, everybody.